This guy was always falling sick, and when he went to the hospital, he did a HIV test and it came out positive. He felt so frustrated and bitter about his life, he almost even gave up. But today, he's using his story to inspire and educate young people that they have to be really careful, especially those of you that sleep around. Today, he's here to share his story to create awareness and remind you guys that it is very easy to contract HIV. This is his story. Oh, even after discovering your HIV, you're still knocking up and down.
Yes.
Wow.
Seriously. I'd like to ask you a question, sir. When you see me, would you ever think I have a disease?
No.
Would you ever think I have HIV?
No.
Anyone can have it. And that is what is very scary.
Bro, how did you discover you had HIV?
Okay, so at some point I was always having fever, I was always having diarrhea, I was always having, different kind of complications and sexual infections. And I didn't really take my time to find out what was wrong. So I had a major breakdown one time and I was taken to the hospital, and that was when I said to do a test. Then I was working with a magazine agency. So after I ran the test was when I found out that I was HIV positive.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you saw the positive on your results?
Well, it wasn't so much of a big deal to me because as at that time when I was seeing the results, I wasn't experiencing stigmatization. It was just told to me. But because I had to tell the company I was working for then, because they're the one who told me to, go and do a test and they needed a written result. So when I got back to them and they saw that I was HIV positive, I told them around 10 a.m. that I was HIV positive. Around 4 p.m. I was asked to leave where I was staying because they wanted to renovate all of a sudden. So From there, I started experiencing stigmatization. The company told the person who introduced me to them. The person who introduced me to them told the person who he knew me from. And from there on, every other person started knowing about the, HIV story, and it became a problem for me because I didn't like the fact that the news was spreading. And at some point, I got so depressed, and I actually attempted suicide, and it was everywhere on the internet, and it was not a very wonderful time for me. It was a very depressing time for me, but I'm here now.
How did you live your life, and how did you contract this illness?
Okay, so when I was much younger, I was extremely promiscuous, very promiscuous. I was, visiting brothels, sleeping with one woman to another, even those older than me. I was just sleeping with different women, and it was a big addiction.
Which state in Nigeria?
I was in Abuja. As at the time I started working as a photographer, I was transferred to Kano. So Kano was where I am very sure that I contracted it from, because even in Kano I was promiscuous, and Kano is not as most people think the Northerners are very let's say boring and not into life, but Kano was a very wild place, one of the wildest states I've actually been in. And so I was also promiscuous there, slept with different kind of girls, and 5 months later after I've left Kano, I started falling sick, and that was when I discovered I had HIV.
Wow, that's crazy. I can't imagine how you felt when they showed you that result.
Yeah.
And so what happened next? The news went viral, your family, friends knew about it. What was the next stage of your life like?
The next stage of my life was very, very terrible, because my family members started experiencing, stigmatization by association. So what that means is that because they were associated with me, they started stigmatizing them. My mom was very stigmatized in church. Sometimes they stopped giving her role for all these women meeting and stuff. My elder brother was a barber, and so many people stopped going to his barbing salon because they could relate that I was his brother. And then he told me to stop coming to his barbing salon. I should stop showing my face in his barbing salon because he didn't want people to know that I was his brother and all of that, And the tailor guy, because I have two elder brothers, the eldest one is a tailor, and so many people stopped giving him clothes to sew. I don't know if they thought that maybe he could get HIV from me and pass it through sewing clothes or something. So it was a very difficult experience for all of my family members. Very difficult experience. For me personally, there were other photographers who didn't want to associate their brand with my brand. And, everybody just gave me, my way. Everybody just separated themselves. And I'm not going to withhold the fact that I had, uncool attitude then. My character wasn't nice. So it's one thing being HIV positive, it's another thing having a very good character. So it wasn't even easy for people to accommodate me because my character was really, really shitty then.
I'm trying to imagine how bad was it. What were some
Okay.
things? You get angry easily, you want to fight everybody, or what?
Yes, that was one. I get angry easily. I wasn't a good teammate. In the studios where I worked in, I was always having issues with everyone. I didn't know how to tolerate or manage situations. I always explode because I became extra sensitive about everything because, of the whole HIV thingy. I used to direct everybody's unfavorable attitude towards my HIV state, and I was never really looking at my own character. I expected good from people without requiring to give the same good to people, and it was a really, really bad character from me. I was just expecting good. I was never really building good characters from my own end to deposit to other people. So yes, it was a very, very difficult time for me.
Wow, bro, you're like one of the most honest persons I've ever come across since I started interviewing people. The fact that you had to reveal all of this information without trying to sugarcoat anything, it reveals to me that you've discovered yourself and you've healed.
Yeah.
That's the way I see you. I mean, for you to come out and talk about things in this way, it means that you've realized your mistakes, your shortcomings, and how it has affected you and shaped events for you. Wow, that's really crazy. I mean, this is something, you know, life is filled with so many distractions.
True.
The fact that we are sexual beings, we always want to satisfy our cravings, our desires, especially we guys. Most of us do not even have self-control. um it's always easy to want to do this and do that, and sometimes we forget about all of the problems that can come with that lack of discipline. And today you are using your story to remind people about the consequences of living in this way, and that's a really honorable thing to do. So how are you managing this condition right now?
Okay, so right now, since I had this positive mind shift, it's been me against me first, right? Because I wanted to like really battle inwardly and make sure that I stop a lot of things. Depression from stigmatization made me to fall for a lot of addictions. I was addicted to I was addicted to I was addicted I was addicted to you know I didn't do drugs, but I was really addicted to just a lot of things, even mindset. Some people can have mindset addiction, stuffs like that.
What do you mean
But
mindset addiction?
okay, so I was addicted to always think that everybody was against me. Like everybody was against me. If I'm talking to you now and I see you whisper to someone after talking to me, I will just automatically think that you are talking about me. And you see, that was even a problem too on its own. So I had anxiety too, and it was a very big deal for me. But from when I gave my life to Christ, because the truth is, the Holy Spirit was actually the one who helped me to start properly helping myself. So since when I gave my life to Christ, it became easier for me to first forgive myself for being reckless and putting a lot of people at risk, even after discovering my HIV status.
Oh, even after discovering your HIV, you're still knocking up and down.
Yes,
Wow,
seriously.
that's crazy. So it was when you gave your life to Christ
Yeah.
that you had to stop a lot of things.
Yeah.
Man. So okay.
And before I gave my life to Christ, I was also like a pimp. So I was pimping girls to men and all of that. And that's how I was getting money.
Even with that status.
Yes, even with that status. I was just pimping girls to men. And, you know, it was a very, very, very filthy experience. I just, you know, I just want to use the same force that I used in doing all of those things. I want to put the same force into changing people's life or touching people's life positively right now. That's my focus.
As a pimp, your duty was to link up girls with guys who wanted them.
Yeah, and you see,
what kinds of people did you work with?
Okay, so because they call it a pimp, it sounds okay. But what I started doing after having my positive mindset was to really, really discover what the word pimp is. The word pimp means facilitating, connecting one girl to another man. The girl who is willing to sell her body for money, the man who is willing to get pleasure for money. I connect both of them together. And you see, that act alone is trafficking. So I wasn't bringing people from outside the country to Nigeria or from one state to another state, but it was from one location to another location. So I had to call it what it is for me to really discover how nasty it was. And then I started having this uncomfortability inside of me. And that was when the urge to positively change came in.
Bro, you've seen it all. Wow, man. So what kinds of people did you work with as a pimp?
A lot of girls are into hookup in Abuja.
Okay, it was in Abuja or Kano?
Yes, here in Abuja.
Okay.
So I started pimping like last year when I was working at a club. You know, I was working as a club as a photographer. And then there was this girl who came into the club and wanted a place to sit. And I just told her to sit somewhere. I didn't know what pimping was. I didn't know how the club operated. But she sat down somewhere and the PRO in that club brought some ballers to come and sit where she was sitting. So I think somebody took her home. But before she left, she got my number. She thought that I gave her that seat, thinking that, you know, I wanted to connect her deliberately to one of the ballers. But she didn't know that I just gave her. So when she got my number, the next morning when she was done doing what she was doing with one of the ballers, she called me and she was like, "Hey, hi, thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Please send me your account number. Let me send you your cut." And I didn't know what it means.
You sent the account number?
But then I sent the account number because...
How much did she send you?
She sent me 30,000 naira.
30?
That they paid her 100K.
Wow.
She sent me 30. I was like, okay, that's nice. She now said, would I be around, that she's coming again today? And she's bringing her friend. I was like, I will be very much around. Do you understand? I was not supposed to work that day, but I went to work that day.
Wait, how much do you make normally as a photographer?
I make, for a session then, I was making
money?
Yes, I was making like, let's say 50K.
A day?
Yes, a day.
Okay, so, okay.
So I was really good at it.
Okay.
But then when she brought her friend, I think the kind of people that picked them that day was paid so much more for both of them, and it was like 150K each.
They give
150K each, and then both of them gave me cuts
of how much?
Of like 45,000 naira each.
That's 90,000.
That was 90K.
More than what you
yes, and that was what I made.
That was how the spirit of pimping came up.
So they started introducing me to more friends. I started being bold enough to meet more people, to tell them that I can get them more girls and stuff like that. So, and greed came into the picture.
Yeah.
Greed came into the picture because I wanted to make more money. And so I'll tell this man that, okay, I have girls for 150K. Go back to the girl and tell her that it is 100K, right? And collect cut from that 100K. While the man...
From the guy.
Yes, so and the man has to pay me deposit before the girls go and meet them. So I was doing that and I was making so much money. And you know, whatever you are making that's giving you money is even harder to stop. So it was a problem for me.
To an extent, I can't relate. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this on camera, but my first ever job was at the age of 15. I was working at a receptionist in a hotel. And when customers come to lodge, sometimes they'll come out at night and then ask if there's a way they can get a girl, you know. And initially I would say no, until I discovered how much some of my colleagues there were making from saying yes and giving them a contact. And so I can understand how money can actually influence people into trying to do certain things, as long as from their own side it's harmless. You understand? They are not hurting anyone, they are just connecting. But the way you shared the story, you've actually shown us the deeper part of it. Do you understand? And that was how you went into pimping full time.
Yeah.
You became really popular in Abuja.
Yes, I became very popular.
Like how many girls did you have access to?
I was in 3 groups plus my group.
Oh, there's a group for it.
Yes,
a
lot of group in Abuja about pimping. A lot of group. People see pimping is like a lucrative business. You know, hookup is a business right now, and pimping is like you have agents. So being a hookup person is like being an entrepreneur, and you need agents to help you get jobs. So yes, so I was like an agent. Yeah. So I was getting a lot of hookup girls. Before they even come to Abuja, they want to chat me up. I'll have to, tell them the right place to stay or connect them where they can stay. Most of them are, a lot of girls stay in girls' house. That's what it's called in Abuja. Most girls, any girl that tells you that she stays in Wuse, that Wuse Otako, just know that she's probably staying in a girl's house. And she's probably doing
house,
yes,
like
a girl's
small hotel.
Not guest. Girls house. Yes.
GIRLS.
Yes. So they can be like up to 10 girls in one house.
One room, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, so that's a thing.
That's a huge thing.
Wow, seriously. So what kind of girls, like young girls, married people?
Now, that is what is most scary, because you're going to find girls from 18 years old. You're going to find girls that are probably supposed to be in school but are actually out on the street. You're going to find girls that their parents are actually doing so well, but then they just have the attitude of sleeping around. You're going to have girls that are actually doing it because they have to fend for their family. You're going to find girls that do it even though they have businesses. I've seen people that have very big boutique, but they are still into hookup. I've seen a pastor's wife still doing hookup.
They lie.
I've actually seen that.
I don't believe you.
I wish.
Don't come and say anything here because you are trying to get people's attention. We don't do it on this platform.
Yeah.
Whatever it is you say has to be true.
Yes, very true.
Pastor's wife.
Very true. And I've given pastors girls.
Pastors in Abuja.
Yes. No. There was this minister.
Don't call anybody's name.
Yes, of course. There's this minister that came all the way from. He comes from Port Harcourt every single weekend, and then I get him girls.
The body is very congealed. One kind thing, no. Kai, are you serious?
Yes,
pastors,
true.
What kind of other people? Politicians?
Yes, most of them I don't even know them personally. So they just contact me. I don't ask for pictures because they are the clients. But for the girls, I have to see their pictures. And it wasn't just also pimping I was doing. I was also like doing massage therapy. So I was also getting people who wanted massage, of course with happy ending, right? I was also getting girls.
You used to massage ladies?
I used to teach the girls how to massage my clients. And most times, then that's how I get pleasure from the hookup girls, right? Because I'll be like, I want to teach you how to massage. And most times, by the time I massage most of them, because I was pretty good at it. And when the devil wants to use you for something, he makes you good at that thing. So I was good at massaging and all of that. And most times, it always leads us to, because I was into I tell the girls to touch themselves while I touch myself. Or if paraventure was so horny, we can have, but it was never really about. I was never really, really having with those girls. I was meant like, touch yourself, I touch myself. And it was a very filthy experience.
You are really courageous disclosing all this information.
Yeah.
You are very sure you want all this to be posted.
Yes.
I feel that maybe you have a very significant role to play, and it's not going to end on my platform. I'm hoping that a lot of other platforms reach out to you so you can keep sharing the stories. The stories you are sharing is not because you are trying to call anybody out or make unnecessary enemies, but you are just trying to remind people about the dangers of these pleasures, because it is almost impossible to find somebody that this pleasure is not controlling right now.
I'd like to ask you a question,
Mm.
sir. When you see me, would you ever think I have a disease?
No.
Would you ever think I have HIV?
No.
Anyone can have it. And that is what is very scary. Anyone can have it. So you have people that you think that you know, and you're in a relationship with them, but you have no idea what they have, because you're not asking the right questions, or you're not paying attention to their movements, to their words. You're not even paying attention to who they are. So you're just oblivious of it. When I hear some girls saying that they can't clean a guy's house, I laugh, because sometimes you're going to discover a lot if you clean your boyfriend's house. Because you might have actually even bumped to drugs that when you see, you can now start reading about them. Because some people wouldn't just tell you that they're HIV positive, but you will find out if you are paying attention to them. Maybe cleaning their houses, you check the cupboard, you see a drug, and then you take a picture, find out what the drug is, find out what is wrong with the person. Because at the end of the day, you will be, having with somebody who has a lot inside of them, and you just think that, and you will never know, and you think that you're okay, and you're not. So,
but you see, there's a doctor that I'm trying to get on my platform to talk about this very topic, and something we were having a conversation, and he told me that even before he told me, I already knew there's a drug people take. If you feel like you've been exposed to somebody with HIV, there's a drug you can get from the pharmacy.
Yes, I would.
Do you understand? Yeah. So if somebody has that drug in their house, it does not really mean that they have HIV. Most doctors have those drugs. There are some kinds of surgical operations doctors can engage in, and they feel like they might have been exposed in a way that maybe the blood spilled in their mouth.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, got to them in some, maybe they are, they're just, to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
They just take that drugs. So that drug can be in their house doesn't really mean that they might have that HIV.
Yeah, that's
I feel
very
that
right.
if people are in a committed relationship, asking your partner to go for checkup most times, it's the best way. And on that thing too, God have all told us that we should abstain from immoralities until we are married. But I don't know, society has made it so easy. And to be honest with you, most of us that were not really into certain things, it is only when we began to make some money that we had the courage to start. I'm saying this because I speak to a lot of people. I listen to stories. I'm talking about there are pastors that I know that detect to things like this, and it's so hard for them to go back. Their life was not always like this. But when God started raising them up, they had access to lots of ladies. They had access to so much money that they could even do anything they want. Then that lifestyle began to eat them up. So your suggestion is very good, but I feel that people should be able to confront people. When you see something like that, you ask the person.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because there's something called PrEP and there's something called PEP. So PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis. If you're a hookup girl, or if you're a traveler, or if if you want to be in a relationship with someone who has HIV, you should take PrEP. So what PrEP does is it helps your immune system to fight against the virus. So someone that is taking PrEP can actually date an HIV positive person and not have HIV.
Wow.
In as much as that HIV positive person is also on his drugs. Yes.
Well.
And then if you are on your drug as an HIV positive person, in the next 6 to 1 year, you can get to a part where they call U equal to U. It's called undetected and untransmitted. So undetected means if you take your drugs consistently, you get to a part where even when you go for a test, they can't see HIV. It will not be written HIV positive. Does not mean that you no longer have HIV, but it is not detectable. And when it gets to that stage of being undetected, then you cannot transmit it. So it is also untransmitted.
Wow.
So you can have someone that is HIV positive, have sex with his partner or her partner without protection and then don't infect the partner because both of them are protecting
Wow,
themselves.
this part we don't even get to hear it all the time.
Yeah, this
I feel
this
like I'm
is
going to invite you again because it's not, we have short people who watch videos, not they don't watch for very long. So I know that this video is going to come around 20 minutes into the full video. So because of that, I want to invite you again to talk about it. Do you understand? Let's talk about other topics too and talk about this very well. So more people hear this part because of the stigma that people with HIV have to face. But if people would realize and they are informed and educated that it gets to a point, maybe not for everybody, right? But for certain people, that it no longer becomes transmissible, right? Is it transmissible? It's transmittable. Then I think that stigma will not be so heavy on people with HIV.
yeah.
Are you dating at the moment?
No, I'm not dating, but I've gotten a lot of requests since I started posting my videos from HIV positive people who wanted to just connect with me and matchmake with me. Do you understand? And then also from HIV negative people who understands how to manage it and all of that. And then I see someone that I like, and then that likes me too. But at the end of the day, I am really working on me, not just my health issues, on my character. I have to be a person that I know she deserves. And I'm also checking her character to know that she has to be someone I know I can live with. Because the mistake that a lot of HIV positive people make is that they just want someone who is going to accept them. They are not a pet. I don't know, like, if you're an HIV positive person, you're not a pet, you're not a dog, you're not a cat. You don't need someone to accept you. You need someone that will love you. You need someone that will love you the way you are. So work on yourself. Work on your character. You can't have bad character and now have HIV and still have bad character. You have to let one go, and you have to let bad characters go, actually. So yeah, that's it.
Well, this is really inspiring. You have a girl who is not HIV positive.
Yeah.
And she was not even into hookup in her past life.
Yes.
And she's reaching out to you that she really loves you.
Yes.
She's pretty.
Very pretty, like
Oh my
dark,
goodness.
pretty.
Wow, this means that there's hope. Oh.
Yes.
There's hope, bro.
And I just hope I end up with her. She's really lovely.
And I really hope you get to that point where it's no longer transmittable?
Transmittable and undetected.
Yes, undetected. I really hope. Are you taking your drugs?
Yes. Consistently now.
Consistently.
And so it's why I'm looking better, feeling better, and have a more positive mindset.
Okay. Does anything affect you? Like, do you feel, I wonder what it feels like living with HIV. I feel like maybe this could be a topic for another day. Like, do you feel weak? Do you feel chest pain?
The funny thing is, the only time I'm reminded that I'm HIV positive is when I take my drugs and maybe make content about it. Most times, I am actually just a wonderful guy. That's how I see myself.
Healthy.
And I feel healthy. Yes, I feel healthy. I eat the right things. Do you understand? Now, for a long time, I was in a denial state. The denial state is when you find out you're HIV positive and then you do not accept and embrace it and start taking your drugs. So I was in a denial state for a long time. But as soon as I started taking my drugs, I stopped falling sick. I stopped falling sick frequently. And now I'm living the right way.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting. That's good. It's really inspiring meeting a young man like you talking about this. Most people would want to live in denial until they are really old, then they want to now start talking about it. But it's a beautiful thing. I just hope that God makes something beautiful out of your life. And I hope that people watching this video, I feel that God should lay something in their hearts to reach out to you. Pastors should give you their platform to come speak. It's so sad that some of these pastors are analog pastors. They do not see the potential in using storytelling to preach the gospel, because a part of your story shows that you are living a very non-Christian-like life. But today, from the way you speak, it seems you've accepted Christ and you are living well. Your story should not end here, my brother. Your story should not end here. See, I'm so disappointed in some of the pastors we have in our present generation. I'm so
I
disappointed.
was going to talk about pastors. Now, I think the message of or the selling of miracle is so much more than acquiring amazing attitude and character. So many pastors will sell that, okay, if you have HIV, you'll be healed. If you have cancer, you'll be healed. But not a lot of them really talk about how it is important to understand and acquire knowledge of how to manage cancer, how to manage HIV. Because the truth is, you need to be able to manage HIV and work on your mindset so that if healing is coming, your mind can even accommodate it and receive it. Because knowledge without faith is very unfutile. You have to be able to have knowledge on what is wrong with you, understand how to manage it, and then pray to God. God will use the knowledge that you have. Do you understand? God will bank on the knowledge that you have and then heal you. Some people just think that, okay, because you have faith, you don't take your drugs, you don't live the right way, you don't eat the right way, and you just think that healing will just come, you just get delivered from HIV. No, you have to at least start taking care of yourself. If divine healing comes, awesome. If it doesn't come, God will still help you to fight through HIV. That's just what it is. And then it doesn't graduate to AIDS.
Hmm. You're so you speak so. I like how you speak. Very eloquent, and this is kind of people society needs. I hope you never get to the point in your life where you have to start making videos because you are trying to draw people's attention. Stay true to yourself. You have the potential to grow beyond social media, to go on stages, and I just wish I had the connections, the right ones to put it out there, not just on social media, but to put you on great platforms. TEDx, I've been invited for TEDx like twice. I'm a very shy person, so I'm very good at turning down events and invitations. Having your stories documented, oh my goodness, I feel like it will reach more people. Do you understand? What you are doing, only God can bless you. Thank you very much for sharing the story. Thank you so much. Not everybody will be so confident to come here to say it. So, how is life for you at the moment? What do you do for a living? How do you go by? I mean, after the stigma, I'm sure it pretty affected your source of income, right?
Yes, yes. So right now I am actually like not working, but I've been on TikTok for like 2 weeks, and I've been doing live most times, trying to sensitize people, and I've been experiencing like a massive growth on my level. I've been experiencing massive growth. So yes, there are people who are like, oh Chika, you can just take this 10K, use it for something and do that. And yes, I'm trying to raise money to maybe go back into photography and have my own studio and change where I stay, because I stay in like a very very uncomfortable place, and yeah, change where I stay and then be able to actually start up projects to help other HIV people that are going through very serious stigmatization even in their own homes and stuff like that. And there are a lot of young people that are living in fear and anxiety of not having HIV, but then what is funny is that they are still engaging in indecent kind of lifestyles, and it's very heartbreaking.
Wow. So your dream right now is to reach out to more people,
Yes,
to get a camera
yes,
for your photography, to have a studio.
yes,
I don't talk about the accommodation where you live right now, but if you are able to get a camera and go back to photography,
yeah.
you can raise enough money to
Take care of myself.
take
Yes,
care of
awesome.
yourself. Okay. Mm-hmm. What kind of camera are you talking about?
Okay, so I used to use a 5D Mark IV. That's what I was using, but I've been able to get exposed to different kind of studios. So I've been able to use Sony, Nikon. So any good camera is actually very good for me to work with.
Any 4K camera, somebody who
Yes.
is into media too should be able to help this young man back to his feet. I think I'll just end at this juncture. We'll tag you, and hopefully we hope that somebody who wants to assist you will be able to reach out to you. I'm trying to see if we can do a fundraising for this guy, but now I'm just thinking because of some issues. Since the whole thing happened on social media that they say if Lucky post you, I mean, we are using this platform to share important stories, create sensitization and awareness. And because of that, some people are saying they do not want to come to my platform, even if their story has the potential to impact, inspire, and change lots of lives. So I don't even know. You're on Instagram, right?
Yes, Instagram and TikTok.
Instagram and TikTok. I would do well to tag you. I just hope that if people reach out to you, you should be able to share the testimony with us. I'm sure that one person self can even get to this camera you're looking for. Just one person. Your story is really inspiring, and I think that's all I have to say right now. I would like to have more interview sections with you. I hope you're free
Very free.
to come
Very
around.
free. Very, very free.
All right then. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please leave positive comments and encouragement for this young man, because he needs it, and he's on a mission to use his story to inspire the world, to redirect the young people of this generation. Some of you are positioned in high places, but you see that thing called konji. Oh my goodness, it is turning your life in circles. And even if you are well respected in society, well admired, you have a beautiful wife, beautiful family, I feel that this video would definitely help you to sit back and think about your life. And I pray that nobody gets to live and end up in this situation, or even worse. This story is serving a purpose, and I really hope that some of you share this video. Do not be selfish. Share it with your family, your friends, and just share it to every group you can. Thank you so much. Let's say bye to our viewers, bro. Thank you for sharing your story, and bye. Thanks for watching.